Hello everyone, Oregon Moto John. I just want to take a moment and talk about the mods that I've done to this 2024 KTM 300 XCW. I've kind of talked about them as I went. Some of them I think I missed, but I thought I'm just going to talk about this in one video, and I'll try to make it as quick as I can so I don't waste anybody's time. So when I first got the bike, one of the first things I did was I put this Bulletproof Designs throttle body protector on here so that it didn't get hit. It has a plastic one from the factory, which does work, but this Bulletproof Designs one is just really nice, bolts right on. So that was one of the first things I put on so rock didn't get up there and penetrate it or something. The other thing that I did was this oil reservoir sleeve for the you know, if you have the XCW with the oil reservoir. This sleeve just by Two Ride makes that. It just gives us a little skirt so that it's less likely for stuff to get up here and penetrate that. And it just slips over the top. It's like a 2-second installation. So, and it's this skirt right here. You can see it just slips on there. So that's very worthwhile. The other thing I did was the SDR fork bleeders, so that when you're riding, you can bleed your forks. If it's building up pressure, very quick and easy. And those are STR fork bleeders. I got those from Just Slavens Racing, but I'm sure there's other places you could get those. I also got the STR kind of guard. The hard enduro model comes with a guard, plastic guard that covers all this, but I like to be able to get in here and clean some of this stuff. So I really prefer one that just goes in here, and it comes with the spacer, so you don't have to, it's, you know, when you install it, it doesn't take any extra time. I've gotten some that have to bolt on here, which, I don't know, just kind of seems to complicate things, so I'd rather not have something up there. So, you know, this is just one, it's nice and neat and tidy. It's super strong. It's some kind of a lightweight material. I mean, I think it looks nice. It just looks like it's supposed to be on the bike, so that was another thing I did. I did put a different exhaust on here. I can't tell that it changed anything, although it maybe did a little bit. It's the FMF Gnarly with the, you know, the 2.1 silencer. I got the black one. I haven't scratched it up or anything, which surprised me. I have dumped the bike over a few times. You know, but performance-wise, do you need to do that? I would say not. But if you got some extra money and you want to get something that looks cool, I think it looks a little better than stock, go ahead and put it on. I do think it gave it a little more grunt and a little smoother power band, but it's so close that if I'm not sure, I don't like to say that it worked if I'm not sure. So on that one, definitely looks the part, but don't make it the first upgrade you do. Keep going here. I put these molecule handguards on. They're open end. I just prefer that. I know there's lots of reasons to go the other way. Also put the, I think they're Cyrus or Cycra. Oh, the Cycra bar ends. These just screw in so that if you dump the bike, it protects the end. But going back to these molecule handguards, you can see they're the open kind. I got those from Just Slavens Racing. I love how strong they are. I have dumped this bike over and I have never broke a lever. You can see how they cover the lever. Now, I know they're kind of flat looking, but you know, they serve the bike well. And so that was one of the first things I put on because I like my hands being open and they look good. I put on this Tusk radiator guard. There's lots of radiator guards you could choose from. It works fine. It was easy to put on. That's the Tusk radiator guard for this bike. I just went with black. The Bulletproof Designs one, oh man, it's nice, but I already had this one installed, so I wasn't going to rebuy. But look at the Bulletproof Designs radiator guard too. It's super nice. I put a gold chain on. Definitely don't need to do this. This is a Pro X chain. It's wore very well. I've had good luck with DID chains too, so I don't know, have a thing for gold chains. The tubeless system in the rear. I'm running a tubeless system in the rear. Works extremely well. I can run, you know, these Dunlop gummy Geomax AT81EX, which is the gummy version tire. You know, I run 6 to 8 pounds, usually around 8 pounds is what I run, and it just grips so good. And just put on some new tires, as you can see. But the tubeless system, and I highly recommend it. If nothing else in the rear, the front probably isn't a bad idea, but heavy duty tubes in the front, you know, 4mm tubes work well, because you're not going to go below 12 pounds in the front anyway, because you could risk tacoing a rim. So you can do that with a heavy duty tube. So I you know, probably not a huge advantage. So chain, tubeless system in the rear. Oh, this is a cool little thing that I just added on. I had a thumb screw one for a while, front seat bolt, but just Slavin's Racings, I found this where you can see how that flips up, and then you can unscrew it by hand. The other one was just kind of a traction design. I love this. It has this little thing that flips up. And what that enables you to do is unscrew this, and then you can remove your seat when you're on the trail without tools. The other one, I think, needs a Torx bit driver or 8mm or something. So $10, that's a good $10 well spent. I also advise people to get a sock that goes in their gas tank. So you can see there's just a little filter sock in there. I think Twin Air makes those, and it just literally slips in there. No installation really at all, just other than slipping it in. And then what that does is it catches stuff when you're filling your gas. If you happen to have a bad batch of gas or particulate matter in your fuel, that sock will catch it rather than running it through your fuel injection system and gumming things up. This XC gear shock absorber system has been, for the handlebars, has been great. I'm not running a steering stabilizer right now. I have in the past, and they work fine. But I like this. It gives a little shock absorption through the handlebars as I'm driving. You can change out these elastomers. I have some of the softer ones. Orange are a little softer, and there's a shark bite in here where you can change how much cushion there is there, or shock absorption. I really love this. Highly recommend it. Worth every penny. I also put a temperature gauge on here so I know what my engine's doing. That just goes into the radiator fin there. So that's a matter of just sticking that in there, running the wire up here, mounting this. Easy. I did this. This is bling. Definitely low priority on that. Looks cool, but doesn't change anything functionally. So wouldn't worry about that. I did go with the more aggressive throttle cam that came with the bike. It comes in your pack. It's just a matter of splitting this throttle tube open and changing out the cam on your throttle tube. That's an easy one. Oh, one of my favorite. Okay, if I were going to say the best upgrade I made, it would be the ECU Reflash with the ERM two-stroke performance. So you can see I've got my little port here for the ECM. That was kind of down over here, and you pull it out and bring it over here. You get the two-stroke performance ERM, and that thing will flash a new map. When I bought this bike, it was a little laggy. How do I just explain it? It just didn't seem to run. It ran fine, but when I entered mid-range to top end, it just seemed to hesitate, and I don't know, it ran fine, but I wouldn't say it ran great. With the two-stroke performance map using the ERM, it comes with the little computer that you need, a handheld computer, to flash it to your ECU. That thing made my bike run so good. That if I could pick all the stuff that I would do to this bike, I'd put everything else on hold and I would do that map, the map ERM that flashes the map to the ECU. Now, I also did the two-stroke performance medium compression head. I'm at roughly sea level, so medium compression is fine for me. So you can, I don't know if you can see that in there. Sorry, it's about there. See if I can catch it from the other side. But I did that, and it did with the insert, and it did help. But it didn't make as big of a difference as flashing the map. But it's a beautiful, oh, there you go. You can see that gold head up there. It's a beautiful piece of artwork, and it was easy to install. And it did give me more torque and grunt, but you know, the bike ran so good after the map reflash. I think I rode it once or twice with just the map flash that when I put the medium head on on there, compression head, it was kind of like, okay, yeah, that's a step better, but putting the new map on the bike, that was many steps better. So that would be, if I were going to prioritize these, I would say that would be my number one thing that I would do, for sure, putting that new map on. And then probably number two for me would be the tubeless in the rear, because I'm in the Pacific Northwest, lots of mud, and traction is your friend. So I would say tubeless in the rear would be my number two thing. And my number three thing would be the shock absorption through the handlebars. Now, and then I would say the temperature gauge is really, really close. And then this oil skirt to protect things. So in order of priority, those are up there. As far as what else am I going to do to the bike? The suspension's been so good. I'm just not going to touch the suspension. I mean, I've had good luck with it. It's been perfect for my weight, around 190 pounds. It's been perfect. I set the sag to about 110, and the bike just settled in and is perfect. So 110 sag on the rear. The front forks as well. I don't have any plans to do anything with those. They have been perfect. Brakes have been awesome. I love, these are my favorite brakes, these Brembo brakes. They've been so good. They're my favorite brakes. My Husky, I think it's a Brake Tech or something different, and they're okay, but man, these Brembos modulate so good. They're strong. They modulate well. I love them. Brakes have been awesome. But going back to upgrades, that is it. I guess I do have a power valve, two-stroke performance power valve kind of cover that I'll eventually put on. It isn't on yet. This is the stock one. Might eventually put some different hoses on here, but that's it. That's all the upgrades that I've done. Rear tire, I guess, is an upgrade. Like I was talking about, Dunlop AT1 EX, and then the front is a Bridgestone X31 or 31X, however you say that. And I got the narrow one, so it'll knife into soft dirt. And that's everything I've done to this bike. So hope that helps. Anybody out there, is using this bike. I'm running stock gearing. I haven't changed anything there, and I've been really pleased with this bike. I just haven't had, knock on wood, I haven't had any trouble. So, but those are the upgrades I've done to this bike. I know there's other things that you could do, and but for a 2024 KTM 300 XCW, this is what I did to make it be a very usable bike for me up in the Pacific Northwest. So, hope you guys are all doing well, riding. Get out there, get some riding in, and life is short. Better get out there and ride. I don't know how I could forget this. This was something I did fairly quickly, was these handlebar spacers. When I installed this XC Gear shock absorber, I put the handlebar shock absorber, I put these spacers in here. And I got those from Just Slavens Racing. And I'm no way affiliated with Just Slavens Racing. I just like that I can go there and get stuff and it fits my bike, and I don't have to worry about returns or anything like that. And as you can see, these spacers fit up here with the XC Gear perfectly. They also have spacers that work with the stock handlebars as well. But for me, 5'7", I have T-Rex arms. Yeah, that's what we got. So really short arms. I have a long torso, so I'm just always, when the bars are down low, I'm just out of position. I stand up, I'm out of position, the bars are too low. You can also fix that by putting different bars on, getting a high bend, handlebar, which, would work too. That would be fine. This is just easy. I just put the spacers in when I did this, and the bars are up. I didn't have to swap off any of this other stuff, but that's not a big deal. So you can solve that problem in the way that works best for you. But I just put those spacers in there and got them up to where I was in more of a motocross kind of riding, off-road riding position. For me, the stock bars are way too low. But if you're taller, longer arms, you're very likely not going to need that. But in fact, probably won't need that. So, but those spacers were really, really helpful. And you can see the index right in with the, the XC Gear, shock absorption system. And last but not least, we have the Bulletproof Designs kind of swing arm, protector here for where the chain guide is. That just bolts on. Very, very nice. Looks good. Comes with new screws, easy to put on. So that's worthwhile. Oh, I guess I did get the Tusk chain adjusters here, chain guide adjusters. So those have been nice, pretty easy to put on. Not necessary, that's just pure bling. So put that low on the priority list.